Hi everyone, and welcome to Badminton Racket Review and to this 2018 testing session. And today we have quite a unique situation. So it's as if I'm not confused enough with the amount of information I'm processing while I'm talking to you. The producers today have done this to me. Yes, three. I have got three Yonex Astrox 88s rackets here. So we are going to be talking about the differences between them, the general technology behind the Astrox 88s, and we'll go through our normal testing procedures. So firstly, why do I have three of them? So one of them is a 3U, this one, and the other two are both 4Us. However, as I mentioned in the Astrox 88D video, one of our members emailed in and said, wouldn't it be interesting if you got one racket from one part of the world and another from another and see how they test besides each other? So we did that. So we have one which is coded for one is a HK code and one is an AS code. So we've tested them on our website, and you can see what kind of differences you can expect in production. I think this is really more about production differences. Now the Astrox 88S stands for skill levels, and we'll go into further detail in a second. But first of all, I will go through the spec. Let's start with the 3U. So I'm just going to put the other two down for a second. So the 3U racket is obviously an 85 to 89 gram racket. That's the weight of it. The string tension is 21 to 29 pounds, and we have a balance which is towards the head. It's a head heavy balance towards the head of the racket, the balance. And the shaft, I'm pretty sure, is stiff. It has a stiff, it doesn't say that on the racket, but I'm just reading off the website here, Yonex website. It's a stiff shaft. Now before we move on to tell you more about it, we'll just quickly go through the 4U version. Okay, so the 4U version of the racket, I have two coded versions here. So this is the AS4U, but the spec written on here will be pretty much the same. So 4U means it's 80 to 85 grams in weight, and the string tension, interestingly, is 1 pound less than the 3U version. So this is 20 to 28 pounds in tension. We string all of our rackets with the same string to the same tension, which is 25 pounds. So that ping is a 25 pound ping. All rackets, 25 pounds. Right, so we already know that the balance of the Astrox 88S is towards the head, so it's a head heavy racket, so the balance is in this direction. And we know that the shaft is regarded to be stiff, and it does feel quite stiff to me. Right, prices. So the 3U version is priced at around £165, 160, 165 pounds, and the 4U version is exactly the same. It's available across the globe. The 4U version is, I understand, a little bit harder to get hold of. The 3U version is easier to get hold of, but if you look hard enough, you will find the 4U version too. Now let's tell you a little bit more about the tech on the Yonex 88s. Astrox 88s even. So I'm reading from a screen here, because if you think I can remember all this information, you're crazy. That's not happening. So what does it tell us here? It tells us that the first difference between these and the 88D, I have an 88D. So the difference between these two rackets, the 88D, and let me just pick one up at a time, just get a little bit messy like that. So the difference between these two rackets is, if you can see that or not, that's exactly right. You'll notice the D is slightly longer. Can you tell? Put it there, maybe you can see better. Yeah, you can see it there, look, see? And that is exactly right actually. So it has, the major difference is a 5mm shorter shaft. And the reason I'm reading off the screen, sorry about me coming away from the camera, but my eyesight's not that good. And that is, the reason for that is it offers better air resistance found in classic regular length rackets, and also apparently additional power. Ooh. Now it also says it has an energy boost cap and all the other stuff, the T-joint and all the other stuff that you already know about. Now we can tell you that Kevin Sanjaya Sukumujo uses this racket. Have you guys seen the dude play? When he's at the net blocking drives, it is like nothing I've ever seen before. The guy is unbelievable at the net. We also have Matthias Boa, Leon Day, Victor Axelson and Gabriel Adcock from England who are using the 88s. That's a serious endorsement. So what can I say? The 88s is obviously the one that is liked by a lot of the international players. Let's talk about the design of these rackets. So if you remember, if I just find here it is, the 88D, you can see what Yonex, let me just let's organise myself a little bit here. Here we go. Right. Here you can see the design differences. So where you've got in the 88D, you've got the sort of green bottom section here. On the 88S, we have the red bottom section. The central part is pretty, so the design in itself is the same. What they've done is they've changed the colours from the 88D, and at the top you've got that same difference in colour. Yeah, so where the 88S is green at the top, the 88D is red at the top. Here's a close-up video of the 88S so you get a better idea. Right, what we'll do now is, sorry, before I go on, all of these rackets will be available on our racket site, which is linked below. There's a link to it below. We'll put them on the first week of August, and we'll make sure that the prices are the lowest in Europe, well, at least the UK. So you can either email in to us if you're interested, or you can just go onto the website, and if they're still available, fine. If they're not, they're not. We don't hold stock. What we have is what we sell. Right, let's do a weight to see. I'm a little bit, so many rackets going on here. It's a bit more confusing. Well, we're going to do a weight test, and we will start with weighing the 3U racket. Okay, so that's coming at just short of 92 grams in weight. Now, before we move on to the court testing, what we'll do is we will measure the 4U version 2. Okay, so we have weighed both these rackets. One measures 87.8 and the other one measures 88.1, so pretty much, within a few grams of each other. So lighter than the 3U clearly, and only a slight weight variation. As I've mentioned in all of our videos, manufacturing process dictates there will be slight weight variations. Both have the same strings though, both have the grips supplied by Yonex, so that's pretty much how you'll end up using them on court. Now we're going to move on now to a smash test. Let's start with the 3U 88s. And now for the 4U 88s. Okay, so you know the smash test is basically the player is trying his best to hit every shot at the same sort of power. That's what he's been instructed to do. And what we do is we measure the velocity of the shuttlecock in kilometers per hour. All that information is on the Racket Review e-zone. Now we're going to do the maneuver test, where the racket is isolated into this movement and we measure the head speed to see how aerodynamic and well designed the racket actually is. Okay, finally we're going to do a control test where we see how good the racket is at controlling the shuttlecock. Okie dokie, so before I summarise these rackets, there's the spec of the rackets below in the description box. So in this case you have the 3U spec and the 4U manufacturer spec, and then our spec, and below that are links to our website, links to the racket sales site, and also the link to how to use Badminton Racket Review. If you're looking to become a member or you're already a member, still hit that link and make sure you understand the full potential of the platform from Badminton Racket Review. So to summarise, let's have a look at the summary. Sorry. So 88s 3U, it's heavy to use, the 88s 3U. The shaft is really stiff, and although it does move through the air very well, the overall overarching message here would be mindful. Even though these amazing players are using this racket, it's not for everyone. It's not the sort of power that a lot of people, and I mean the majority of people, are going to be able to access, because you just need the technique, you need the muscle in your arm, you need you know, the right amount of airspeed for this racket to really come alive, and just so many people cannot achieve that. Even though they think they can, they cannot. And if you're spending 170, 160 pounds on a racket, I imagine you want to be absolutely banging, but for a lot of people they're not going to get that. And the 3U summary is pretty much the same, but even heavier. So you're looking at a racket that is quick for its weight, quick for its balance, quick for its shaft stiffness. Nevertheless, it's tiresome to play with, and that will be the case for a lot of people. So unless you are a county or national player who's training regularly, whose timing and footwork are spot on the money, you're actually getting into the gym and you're doing your working out, be mindful of these rackets. If you really, really like them, then you should definitely go and try them before you use them. Thanks again for your support. Thanks again. Please do subscribe, and please do press the like button. Leave your comments. Always nice to read some comments, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot. See you soon.